All right, we're back. It's Thursday. It's Heroes and Hooligans. It's the Kamatchkalan Chronicles. And I am a privileged guest DM tonight. And let's get right into it. Does anybody want to do a recap from last week?
We are very bad at sailing boats.
We got wet.
Horrible at it.
But Nerys is very good at saying no.
You'd make my pappy cry, honestly.
So at the beginning of last session, we saw somebody posting an award for 500 for the killer capture of the sea monster. Ended up 500 wasn't enough. They bumped it up to 2,000. Slightly pissed about that because we were already offered the job, but whatever. Anyway, a salty seaman approaches and wants to discuss killing the monster. Enter Captain Quint Bungler, who only bungles barrels. I don't know what else. He happens to be the captain of the Seculorca. It's about an 80-foot long, large 4 decks. We went to the Sea Dragon Inn to the second story section of the bar because that's where the local heroes go. And that's where we discussed, heavily negotiated, figured out that we have to pay to work, essentially. A whole thing. So we get onto the ship, onto the Seculorca, and we are all assigned a role. 5 roles assigned. Quartermaster, nearest, meant to tell no. Pilot, Psy. Still debating whether that was a good idea or not. Rigger is Naime and Suda. Botswain for shield, and I, of course, at the top, being the prettiest lookout you ever did see. However, when Sai got up to, where the pilot place is, the wheel, whatever the fuck that area of the ship is called, there was a protection symbol on the floor, a red protection symbol. And they happened to say it was from Glaciava. Interesting, and take note. We set sail and some things happened. We had some all right weather at the beginning. The winds picked up. What we thought was to our back ended up definitely not being to our back. We were headed south, and they were southern winds, not northern. Heavily underlined, we are not sailors, biggest part of the notes, I think. And shield got tossed overboard, Naime saved, and that was the end of the show. And we use fireberries and fireberry jelly to prevent scurvy instead of lime water.
And you can use good berries.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think Monsieur World said good berries were in.
Yes, that is correct.
So
So
good because I just happen to have those.
Okay, so you find yourselves, thankfully, in quite severe.
The music kind of like cut out the night.
I kicked it down, so it shouldn't stop.
Yeah, it was weird interference with his mic.
Oh, my mic right now?
No, you're good now, Rob. It was just the
You're
the
good
sound
now.
really loud
Okay.
over you.
So, yes, so super calm water. All the sails that are still surviving from the terrible storm are just lufting in the wind. They're not creating any energy whatsoever. The ship is extremely damaged, and now the captain and will take over his ship, command about his crew.
Aye. So, Captain, maybe morning after the storm, everyone getting their heads screwed on back on after our sort of merry song at the end of last session. Captain looks at some of his crew and you guys and is like, well, let's see if we can get everything fixed up before we continue our journey. All of you, get some ropes. Scrape the barnacles off. Let's do some cleaning. Boatswain, you're on call.
Captain.
Aye.
All right, so the crew very they've got some rest. Everybody's happy to be alive, and there's probably about 20 crew members who have been injured in some way that they are now in sick bay. But you have people going up in the rigging, replacing ropes, etc. There's some damage to some lines and some pieces of wood. And then some of the more perilous jobs are the crew get, because it's nice and calm, they get put over the sides on these like little boards that you sit on, like a little swing. And you just kind of dangle over the water, and you scrape and make sure everything is going to be okay out there.
No, thank you.
So basically, the crews and captains very quickly taking care of the repairs, and that's exactly when the fog rolls in on you. Super dense fog. All the sounds of the seabirds are gone, and every sound is muffled, and the vision is like in the background picture behind our mini screens, but it's probably even thicker than that. And you see the crew has just kind of an uneasy look about them.
Boils, you all right with the sea? No, sorry. You all right with the salt kissing your feet?
Yeah, Captain, it's I think we're almost 10% done now this side, port side.
Good to hear. Keep it going.
When can we come up for a little bite?
Oh, well, maybe when I stop seeing some of those crusts across the hall.
Well, we'll get back at it. All right, so just a little bit more of an unease amongst the crew. Are you players doing anything in particular? And why don't you tell me kind of like where you spend your time in general? It sounds like Alvira is up on the crow's nest, but we'll call it Owl's Nest.
We're really working on getting it renamed to the Owl's Nest because, I mean, crows and owls, they're just not even in the same league. Obviously, owls are better, and it's just something I got to work on with. Maybe I'm going to get a professional name change on this part of the ship or not. I don't really know, but yes, I'm hanging out up here looking awesome.
Okay. Everybody else?
Naime is perched up at the bow, practicing knots and coiling the rest of the rope.
Okay. So you're up there and you see that's like the anchor windlass where the anchor gets pulled up into the boat, and the anchor is on a stout chain and it gets pulled up, but it's all like the chain itself has gotten tangled up, and you can imagine how difficult like it would be to get like a how many ton chain untangled. So there's a bunch of them up there. The crew is up there trying to untangle that using pulleys and all kinds of stuff, and you're observing them doing that. Okay. Sai, what are you up to?
Aside from yelling at the deck dog that's trying to eat my branches, I'm going to help scrub the decks. I believe that was ordered, and I have the ability to help with that. I feel bad about how terribly I did steering the ship, so I will help in that fashion.
Okay. Shield.
Shield, being the acting boatswain, was also ordered by the captain to kind of clean the decks and try to scrub some of that nasty off. And just kind of whenever he spots something that needs fixing up, he'll try to pull one of the other crew to help him figure it out a little bit. Shield was not quite aware boatswains have to fix things, so he's not the handiest with a hammer when it comes to putting it back together. Breaking apart's a little bit easy, but he'll.
Okay, well, why don't you make a perception check?
Certainly. That'll be a 12.
Okay, looks okay. You were looking up at the mast, and just for a second, you were like, "Man, what's going on there?" And you thought there was like, you thought you saw like a splinter of wood coming out of it. Maybe that it starts cracking, but it just it's okay. It's stout.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. This is the finest oak wood.
Okay, and Neris, what are you up to, and where are you at on this ship?
So Neris kind of spends a lot of her time below decks, firmly planted in the storeroom, where people constantly are coming to her and asking her for supplies, and she says nothing but no.
Okay.
No, you cannot have that. No, you definitely don't need that. The only person I think she might say yes to would be the captain, but he'd still have to come like 3 times.
Okay. Well, she's rationing it out. You never know.
I'm so proud of you.
We'll have a feast when we're done, right? If anything's left. Okay, so things go on for a while, and then you have I'm going to put an idea in Captain Bungler's head. Is that one of the older boatswains? She's an awesome boatswain. She's been doing it forever, and she's like, "You remember the time we towed ourselves right out of that fog?" And you remember there was a time when you and Gina, the boatswain, you guys go way back, and you hooked up the little rowboats to the front of the ship and started literally towed your boat, and it saved all your lives. So you hatched the plan.
Time. Sorry, go ahead.
So you and Gina engineer this setup. You get 2 rowboats. You have a total of like 4 rowboats. You get 2 of them. You like lash them together, and then they like have a double rowboat. And there's like a bunch of people, and there's like 20 people in each rowboat paddling like crazy. And you guys, you're moving like half a knot instead of 0 knots. And everything's going good. And there's, I guess the crew feels like any movement is better than just being here. Like you hear people talking about how it's like, they've entered the void or whatever hell is in their religion or philosophies. And that's when something strange, very strange starts happening. Now, mind you, the crew is taking rotations over the side. Some people are going inside. Some people are still trying to get the anchor untangled. And on the launches, which are towing, you start hearing this laughter, which is unusual, like really, really like uncontrollable laughter is coming from the right launch. Pictures 2 launches ahead of you guys.
Well, someone's having a good time.
I will reach out mentally to the people in the boat, and they will hear, "Are you all right out there?"
Are they able to respond, or just they hear that?
They are able to respond. At least one of them can respond. So I can only make connection with one of the people in the boat, but yeah.
Okay. I feel like I got butterflies in my belly. This is crazy. How fast are we going?
Not very fast.
Woo!
Did you
having a good time up here?
The towboat, and then I'll turn to the group and say, "The towboat believes we are going quickly and that they have eaten butterflies."
Well, sailors seem to want to eat anything, considering that they don't get much actual nutrition out on the sea.
That's fair. But why are there butterflies out on the sea? Don't those usually dwell on land?
Has the captain
Good point.
heard of this before? Asking DM.
Have you heard of this? The funnies?
Yeah, are they like? Would I know if they are actually eating butterflies or something's going on? It doesn't seem very normal for my crew, at least.
Make a perception check.
So, no modifiers. That's a 19.
Oh, okay. You go up to the bow. You peek over the forecastle, and there you see grimy Jim. And Jim is so grimy, he practically never smiles. He winds up having to do the dishes for a bunch of other people because he can't do other stuff, etc. And he's just miserable all the time. So it's unusual that you would see Jim so filled with butterflies.
This being ill omen.
And then a bunch of the other rowers are acting a little strange too. Like you'd see them, they're like splashing each other, laughing a lot more, like really goofing off. Like when I was in the Navy, we called it skylarking. They're skylarking out there.
All right. Toss up some ropes. Let's get these dogs back on board. They don't seem to be acting themselves.
Very well. And I will whip out my branches to start hauling in the boat.
Shield will toss over some rope as well.
Okay, it's not a challenge for you guys because as soon as you guys start pulling them in, they're like, "Yeah, hey, wow, yeah, that's great."
In their heads, they will hear, "Do me a favor and be quiet."
Oh.
So
and then you see, are you talking to grimy Jim?
No, I'm talking to the ones in the towboat because those are the ones that I have. Whenever I make this connection, I connect with Elvira, and then I can do 3 people at a time. So this time I went for Naime, and then one of the people in the boat.
Okay. One of the people on the rowboat? Okay. And what did you say? I'm sorry. One more time.
Do me a favor and get those people to be quiet.
Okay. That person, you can see from this distance, their eyes, like, they stop laughing, like, instantly. And then you see this look of dread come over the person's face.
Oh, don't be afraid. It's just me. I'm the tree. You didn't think that a walking, talking tree on your boat would be able to do weird things?
You see the eyes. Yeah, and you see some of the other ones, they stop laughing and they start like looking at their hands or like looking into the water. And then more troubling is that you see all the crew on the deck and all the people over the side and the crew messing with the anchor and the people up in the rigging also start laughing uncontrollably. And then you guys start to have to make a save.
What save?
It be?
Make a Wisdom 13 saving throw, please.
All right, thank you.
I again have no modifier for wisdom.
So that'd be a failure.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
I got a 26.
I got a natural 20.
Oh, if you're under deck, you do not have to make the save.
Oh, all right.
I got an 18 because I went over to help Sai.
Okay.
And I missed it by 1.
Yeah, it was 13. So if you failed it, you start laughing. And you start finding things more amusing than they should be. And at this point, the ship is just totally adrift. Nobody is really doing anything.
Alvar,
Everybody's-
in your head you hear, is this some sort of magic on this plane?
I will respond back to you, still silently such. I have no idea, but I can certainly try to figure it out.
Hey, look,
And-
it's a bunny.
I'm a kitty cat.
Oh,
Kitty cat. Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
I would like to cast See Invisibility on myself. And what this allows me to do is to see into the ethereal plane. And ethereal creatures and objects appear ghostly in transit. So, as a spirits bard, it's kind of my way of convening with the unnatural things around. And so, Alvira up in the crow's nest will go into sort of a meditative state. Her eyes will shift, kind of, some of you have seen it do before, from her bright blue to the solid jet black. And I have 120-foot range of dark vision, Mr. World, so pretty long. Am I
Okay.
seeing any sort of other ship outlines in the ether? Any creatures? Anything at all?
nothing.
Okay.
I mean, the fog is super thick, but I think you can see through that with the dark vision.
With the See Invisibility, I can.
Yep. You don't see anything, no land, no grass or kelp or anything like that.
One thing that would stand out, since we hadn't addressed it before, is even as Naime is down there laughing at the little rope bunnies that she's making, there's a superimposed image of her that is looking very concerned.
I think, given that Alvira is in a sort of high state of perception at this point, that she will take note of that difference in visual between Naime and whatever I'm seeing in the ether. I will take note of it, but I will not bring it to attention at this moment, simply because something seems to be more caustically wrong. And for one moment, Alvira has a vein of seriousness running through her. Sai, I don't see anything magical here. Actually, in fact, I don't see anything besides the water around us.
Well, I see Suda. Do you want me to try to get her attention?
Who the fuck is Suda?
Oh, the nice Naime.
Okay. You know what?
I
don't. Okay, sure.
And I'll pull out my bird pipes, which look ridiculous in a tree because they are this big. I am not this big, but I have played them since I was a bonsai. And Suda had told me in the past that music is something that frequently brings her forth. So I will start playing a small lilting tune from that I learned in the Feywild while I was there.
Okay, you want to roll a performance check? You have a very, 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 very receptive audience right now.
Very.
all that conversation was going on with you guys' brain link, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That
Shield,
was
Shield having no clue what these two are doing or going on about. Is there anything Shield can see in a more literal sense, or just see like right around us? Anything going on like with the water, or anything like around us?
No, I mean it's now the ship has basically stopped completely again. The water's super crystal calm, and yeah, it's all the activity and the buzz is on the ships, on the launches, the 4 launches that are in the water. But it's becoming like you haven't seen the boat like that disorganized, and it's just like picture like an aircraft carrier with everybody just walking around and like playing like playing games on the deck instead of doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Question, Mr. World.
Oh wait, I didn't get a performance check from Sai.
It was a 13.
Okay, great. Let me see something. I'm gonna say it looks like about 10 of the crew that are on deck basically are locked onto you, like just absolutely like listening to your flute and just like staring at you.
Well, then I will keep playing, but in my head, I go, Elvira, Naime, or Shuda, help.
Naime's laughter dies off as the colors in her eyes switch. And oh, that's unpleasant. And we'll move up next to Sai.
In your head, you'll hear, because I mean, world, forgive me, is in this case, do I have the connection that I had with Naime with Suda, or no?
Yeah, it'd be the same. It's the same line. So, okay. Yeah.
So you'll hear, Elvira is also intact. I don't know about anyone else. I can't stop playing, or I don't know what they'll do.
What the hell was with the laughing? Directed at Suda now, but
so Mr. World, since you're guest DM, I don't know if you would have picked up on this, but there's 2 spirits in one body.
Yeah.
And Naime was, I guess as we're playing this, is the one who lost the save. Is there anything that would register to Suda as like the source of the influence? Or
I think maybe you would just have to make the save again. If you made the save as Suda, then you would be good. You wouldn't be affected. So you could conceivably, if you can do that.
I got an 18.
Okay, so when Suda takes over, you become clear-minded again, and you're, oh, wait a minute, I was just making rope bunnies, and they were moving. I wasn't moving them. So you realize that something's going on here. It's some kind of hallucinogenic effect that is affecting the crew and yourselves who is affected. Captain.
The captain.
I'm sorry, Suda, did you have anything else that you wanted to do?
Oh, I was just going to kind of pass that along to those who are stable-minded currently. That I'm not for sure, but I think that something in this fog is causing hallucinations and kind of like funny gas.
Real quick, Mr. World, before you go back to the captain. You said below deck. Is below decks just like completely normal, or would Nerys have noticed like a lack of activity or something being off?
Yeah, something's off, because now it sounds like there's a dance party above you on the decks. It's just like, yeah, people are like jumping around. You hear woo-ha, woo-ha.
In that case, Nerys would definitely go upstairs because dancing and partying is her jam.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah, the other people are like, "What's going on up there?"
Sounds like a party.
And they say, "Yeah, you should go up there. We'll keep an eye on the supplies for you."
I'm gonna glare at them.
No, don't worry. Seriously, we'll keep an eye on them.
If a single grape is missing, you will feel my wrath.
Oh yeah. But what if just the juice is out of the grape and the grape is still there? Just suck the juice out of it and then put it back. Put some seawater in there, maybe. All right, so you go up onto the deck. Everybody is okay. So by the time you get up there, there's like 15 people that are like sitting Indian style, watching Sai play the pan flute, and then everybody else is just going apeshit all over the boat. People are doing like. What's that dude's name from the 20s or whatever? Errol Flynn swinging across the decks. The people that are in the lifeboats, the one lifeboat that had Jim in it, it's just rowing away. It's just rowing out into the fog. And then the other 3 boats are tied up into a big party boat, and they're all going crazy in there. And then you see some people that are just staring off into the fog with the look of horror and terror in their face. And now that's what you see. That was your turn. All right, Captain.
The captain is talking to a crewmate in perfect Elvish. You haven't heard him speak Elvish once during this. He hasn't even mentioned this is something he could do. So you can hear him just saying, a friend of 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 a friend. And like,
I'm fluent in Elvish. What are you saying?
Here's the thing. He is reciting a book word for word. Something about cobbling. It's like a cobbling book that he's reciting him in perfect Elvish.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at Sai and be like, "That's weird, right?"
There's something going on. It's affecting everybody's mind.
Well, it doesn't affect yours, it appears, or Sai's, or mine.
I wiggled my way out.
What about
thanks to Sai?
One of my branches that's not playing the pipes will also point at Elvira, who... Are you sitting in my branches? Where are you, Elvira?
I'm still up in the crow's nest.
So we'll point up.
You know, no one requisitioned any alcohol, so I'm not sure what's going on here.
Nerys, would we happen to have any fresh water?
Yes.
Did
There's
you
some
say it's
below
cold?
decks. I'm sorry, what?
Would you say it's cold?
I mean, it's tepid.
I'm going to try something.
Yeah, don't waste the drinking water.
Oh, yeah. No. Here, I can just make some new water.
Ah, very good. Shield is going to go over to the captain and play along a little bit, clap him on the shoulders, and with his other hand, gesture at Nerys to just dump water all over his head.
Seeing what you wanted her to do, instead of creating water, she is just going to grab some water from the ocean and, with her hand, pull it up and dump it right on his head.
Will that do anything?
No.
Now you're just wet and salty.
So now he is wet, salty, and speaking Elvish.
Now you want to just laugh more and speak more Elvish.
Just water all over his face. He's like, And it's like pats Shields back like very harshly, and it's sort of like, and like kind of just like shake him by the shoulders and just sort of like push a drink in his hand, and like he does a somersault and then just kind of stares at the floor for like 15 seconds.
Shield will take the drink and mutter back in Celestial, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, and walk back to the rest of the group.
Okay, Neris, at this point, you've come out of the ship. You must make the DC 13 giggle saving throw.
And you said that's wisdom?
Yeah.
Uh, 14.
Okay. So you can see that the fog actually doesn't get into the ship, but you're like, everybody's going crazy in the fog. Maybe I don't want to breathe in the fog. That's what you think at that second as you kind of close the hatch a little bit.
That would definitely be something that crosses Nerese's mind. She's gonna turn to Suda and be like, have we tried bringing anyone out, like, into the ship?
Not yet, but I can muster.
Yeah, grab someone, but not the captain. He's wet.
Okay, all right. I will grab one of the ones who are fascinated with the pan flute.
Okay.
And drag him down into the
okay,
lower level.
You grab him up. Okay, let's see. Let me see. What happens? Something randomly might happen. Nope. Okay, as you drag Suda, you drag him under. He's just watching the flutes as he's going. He's gone, and you got him underneath, and you hear him trying to whistle the same song as he's going under.
But it doesn't seem to help revive him at all.
Well, you just got him under there, so.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put him under observation, and we'll see if we can repeat the results, if any.
Sai, I'm going to perpetually cast Minor Illusion in the mimicry of the song you're playing, so that way you can stop pan fluting and they'll stay distracted, and you can help you brain problems.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, that was a lot of music at once, and I am not a bard. I am better at hitting things. Have we tried slapping them? I don't know why I think it might work. I'm just frustrated and would like to slap something, and maybe I'll slap them.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
Okay, and I'm going to walk over to, why not, the captain, and just backhand, well, I don't have hands, but back branch him. Unarmed strike.
I don't know if I would be able to block that. I mean, like you, yeah, if you want to roll for attack, you can, but he's out. He's not in the fight at all. Like he's just sort of like, "Don't must be sea legs. I be tripping balls, yo."
In Elvish, I say, "I noticed," and then
noticed.
The attack is, where'd it go? Sorry, here we go. Yeah, so my unarmed attack, that's a 19 to slap you.
I take how much damage?
I will find out. 4. You take 4 damage.
I take 4 damage, and does that help me get out of the hallucinogenic gas or like giggle fit?
Make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, okay. Is there any way someone could give me advantage on that?
I could give you guidance.
I can add a D4. Actually, no, a D4 is not going to help me here. I'm still high. For a tree, you move really fast. Oh.
I am the fastest tree I know.
Let me see if I can I be a tree? I've always wanted to be a
You
tree.
could certainly try. I don't think slapping helped very much.
But he's now trying to be a tree, so at least he's being quiet.
I mean, I can go slap another loud one if it helps us think better.
I forgot to breathe.
We do that with our leaves, and I'm going to go slap another loud one just because I'm trying to get them to shut up so we can think.
Okay. There's one of them that's trying to do the Errol Flynn, and he almost like knocked off one of your nice branches on the top.
Yeah,
And you're like, that's a good target, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So smack, you hit him.
Yep, I hit him.
And he falls down, luckily, into some ropes, and he's slightly injured, and says, "Wow, wow," and starts just burrowing himself under the ropes.
Well, at least he's not going to be a danger at the moment. I think I turned him into a wolf. This isn't working.
Hmm.
All right, Suda.
Yes.
So you have
After-
the one under the.
After
Dex.
observing him for a little.
Still acting crazy, but maybe with the lack of stimulation that's on deck, he is calming down.
No. Such a shame that I don't have all the stuff for tea that might help in this situation.
You know what? I bet there's tea down below decks.
Yeah, you two are down below deck.
Can I have some? Please?
I'll allow it.
And Suda will hop right up and go make some cold brew tea, I guess, because brew some tea over a lantern.
Okay, you quickly get some tea. There was some pre-made stuff, and you just kind of heat it up, or even cold, just anything but dirty water is pretty nice sometimes. And I'm going to roll for him and see if
Okay.
you can snap out of it. It's like, wow. Can that tree play pan flute?
Apparently.
Wow.
It was a very lovely tune, wasn't it?
It was. I think it really opened up something for me, What's going on up there? I mean, it sounds like, are we being attacked by pirates right now?
No. Everyone's relatively safe. Why don't you stay down here? You had a little bit of an episode, and I'm going to.
I'm kind of hungry too, actually.
I will pull out, find a cracker or something I have on me and offer it.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm just going to sit under here for a little while.
And I will, using the link to Sai to spread the information, manage to break the hysteria over this guy. Used tea? ?
Is there
It's like a mental text.
Right. Mental text. That's good.
Is there anyone left on deck currently? Any of the players?
Alvira's up in the crow's nest area. Shields up there.
Correct.
And Sai's up there.
So I'm gonna have my character climb. Do I need to roll any checks to climb the rigging?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's calm and everything.
I think while they're talking or doing mental communication, you would just hear this like applause. Well done, you did so well. It's all part of a test to see if you can do teamwork. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna jump down the blowhole of this whale and begin to try to jump off the owl's nest.
Into the water or onto the deck?
He doesn't know.
Okay, well, we'll randomly determine if something happens. Okay.
If anyone wants to stop him, you guys are free to.
Yeah. Can someone run interference at any point here?
Yeah. Or Alvira's up there too. Like he's climbing right up towards you, and he's talking about jumping.
Would this be a grapple or what's going on here?
Yeah. Now you guys can roll some checks.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are gonna basically now somebody's in your way, Captain. They always try to get in the bungler's way, and you know what a bungler must do. Here he comes. He's trying to get in your way. All right, make a grapple roll.
Well, I got a 9.
Okay, and also both you guys make athletics checks. Call it a DC 8 to avoid the fall.
Natural 1. Just against his grapple check. I can roll again.
Okay, so you grab him up. Shield grabs you.
Let me go. The whale wants to
Oh,
sell me.
no, the whale is not a friend.
Boat insurance. I need boat insurance.
I don't even know what that is.
Shield.
Death and
if
taxes,
you-
boy. Death and taxes. I don't pay my taxes. No one pays their taxes on the seas.
That's right. You can't tax the sea. We should talk more about this below deck.
All right, Shield. Make an athletics check to get him down.
Oh my god, no. 7.
Oh my! I think I said an 8, right?
I think you did.
Okay. So you guys start tumbling out of the rigging. You each take 2d6 damage.
Oh no, accidental suplex.
8 on you, Shield, and 2 on Captain.
Cool.
Blam! And now you see them. They're back on the deck.
Right.
Okay.
Let's take this to my quarters.
And he falls flat on his face and starts sleeping.
Alvira, that's you. Alvira. Pardon me.
Well, since I kind of dragged the captain down, I guess I'm going to come down with all this catastrophe happening. And my question to my friends is, do you think the giggles are contagious and silence might help stop it? Because if so, I can shut them all the way the fuck up real quick, fast, and in a hurry.
It will, in your brain, you hear, it would certainly help us think, even if it doesn't help them.
Don't see what it could hurt at this point. And Shield's going to drag the captain below decks with that and just try to toss the captain into his own quarters.
Meanwhile, Suda, in your brain, you hear, are you coming back? What are you doing?
I am. We need to figure out the source of this.
Yes. Is it below decks?
No. In fact, the gentleman that I brought down here is doing just fine after a cup of tea.
Do you have more tea? We can bring more people.
I can make more, though I don't know if Nereus is going to let me.
And then so then Alvira, you'll hear in your head, and I'll actually say it out loud, assuming you haven't cast the spell yet. We need to get them downstairs.
we can
I
do
will
that.
let you make more tea because this was delicious.
Is there, above the table, Mr. World, is there a quote unquote brig section of the ship where we can funnel in a bunch of crazy pants McGee's to get them to calm down? Or do we need to kind of like push them off to the barracks sort of section?
Well, there's like in the middle of the ship, there's like a big box shaped thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of rises up so the water, but it has like edges and stuff. But like you take the lid off, and then you can get a crane to like, so that basically if you could somehow push them into the cargo hold through the top, like crane access,
Okay.
you could probably get a good bit of them in there. But there is like there's like, I think the crew is 400 people.
On the top of the deck or below included? Because I know we did, it's massive. It's a massive ship.
Yeah, I say on the deck, there's like 100 people on the deck. And then there's still the guys over the sides on the swings, and you should see them swinging, like doing crazy, like parkour swinging.
What if we set a trap? I have a fantastical idea. What if we set a trap? Sai was doing really good at playing the pan flute. What if we open the doors to the thing, have Sai play the pan flute right there by the area where they can hear it, and then we can make the area that they're going to try to gather like a silent spot, so that way once they pass into it, they're kind of chilled out some. What if we trap them, like kind of lure them, siren song them in?
I'm game if you are.
I can help play music, or I have to concentrate on a spell. You get two options.
You're better at music than I am, but I have no spells, so you're better at that too.
What does the rest of you thinks?
Okay,
I mean, it's a good stopgap, but we still need to figure out where the source is.
Or what if we loudly announce that the captain has called an emergency the captain has called an emergency party session below the deck, and then everybody's going to run because they want a party? What if we do that? That saves on all the.
That's a great idea.
Okay, Mr. World, this is what I'll do. In the middle of the deck, and I will start playing my lute and like hear ye, everybody on the boat telling them there's a party down below. And I'll have my friends by the door, the entrance, doing the Vanna White, directing them right down the decks.
Okay, make a let's say you could use either performance or persuasion. It's your choice. I would say it's like their state of mind, they're malleable for sure. So we'll say it's like we'll say there's 100 on deck. So we'll chunk them into 25 groups, 25 crew persons per group.
Okay.
And we'll say it's like, what's your DC? What's your roll?
Wow. I have a 12 performance. It was an awesome roll. I really am excited about this. So that's what I got. I'm not very performative in this serious state of existence.
Okay, so that group, you got 25 basically on board. Not on board, but below decks. Okay, roll for the second 25.
Okay. Well, that's a little better. How about another 12?
12 will do it. All right, two more chunks.
Wow, last one. That's a 9, and that's a 13.
Okay, so there's the 25 that are messing with the chain. That were messing with the chain. And they are seeming to be on a different level now. They're like sitting very still and like staring up at the sails and like looking at their hands and stuff like that. And then you see him kind of like jerk and like twitch a little bit. Okay. So you see another one of the launches that is down there. The guys are jumping off of it. About half of them are jumping off of the launch and trying to swim over to the people on the side, the swings. So that's a new development. The other launch, I'm just like, this will be called the NPC turn, whatever. The other launch is out of sight now. The 3 party launches, like I said, one of them jumped off. Half of the one jumped off is now trying to swim to the things. But you have 100. You have 100 in, or 75 under deck now, plus the 30 that were already under there, plus the people in the sick bay. And immediately, what you can tell is that you know that the people were in the boat the whole time. None of them are affected. And the person who Suda dragged down is normal, and he is assisting in you guys getting them under the decks. All right, so that's like the NPC's turn, and we'll start again. This next round with Sai.
I'm going to go and watch the people who are in the water very closely and try to sense if I'm worried about that boat that rowed away. Trying to get a feel for what might be in the water, because this feels like Fey bullshit to me. And while it's probably not Fey bullshit, it feels like it to someone who spent their adolescence such as it was in the Fey. And I am worried about tricks and possibly getting eaten. So I'm gonna try to look out at the water, check the people that are swimming, make sure nothing's like, I don't know, just I want more information about what's going on there.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I'm quite perceptive. That's a 23.
Okay. So you see what you kind of had a feeling of earlier, which is like there's some kind of micro gas that's like coming out of the water. And now you see a spot out in the fog where you can kind of see there's just like these bubbles coming up out of the water. And you're like, what, that's unusual. But then under your bark and your like your cambium layer, you get you feel something that's in the actual moisture rich air, that it's like some sort of, it doesn't feel like magic or fey. You think it might be some sort of magic, not magical, but chemical combination of elements is which has combined together in some way. This is the only thing you can think.
Out loud you hear, Shield, we need to get away from that. And I'm going to point out at the source of the bubbles that I'm seeing.
That doesn't look good. Or maybe
How
we need to
big is
get
this?
to it.
No.
How big is the source of bubbles?
How big indeed?
Well, the spot that Sai saw was probably, maybe a 3x3 sphere or a circle.
Are we sure what's making the bubbles doesn't need to get stabbed?
Not at all. I would like to stab it if I could see it. But otherwise, we need to get away from the bubbles so that people stop breathing them.
And then, Sai, with your super high perception check, you also see another spot of bubbles 100 feet away, another one 15 feet away. They're basically everywhere.
We can't get away. I don't know what to do. Elvira, you're better at making choices than I am. But there are bubbles of doom.
Can the captain roll a save again since he's been inside for so long, kind of trapped inside his quarters?
Yep. On your turn, we'll get you your save.
That's right.
Are any of the launches still with the ship, or have all of the kind of whacked out crewmen?
No, just the one launch went out into the fog, and you haven't seen it since. The other three are still like party boat mode.
Party, right?
Well, as good as at decision making as I am, I'm more of an air elemental than a water elemental. If you're picking up what I'm putting down here, buddy, friendo guy. But we should try to get the boats back in. That's the thing that I'm thinking is we should worry about maybe trying to get those guys over here.
Okay. And I'm going to go start pulling the ropes again.
Yeah, she will go to Sai, because bare minimum we should get those fellas off there, and maybe we could try to Moby Dick whatever's making the bubbles.
Okay, Captain. You're going to make your save.
Oh boy, here I go.
Come on, boyo.
18. There we go.
Okay, you're stabilized. You have one little glass of tea. One little glass. All right, Neris, you're under the decks as well.
I mean, I think I'd probably want to come up just so I can discuss what's happening with my companions.
You want to have some fun too.
Of course, I want. Again, partying is Neris's jam.
It's quieted down significantly now, though. It's all well
she's
now.
Concerned,
it's super,
though.
But now everybody's under there now. Now they're all like milling about, confused, laughing, and some are crying. Some are hiding in the corner. Some are getting inside barrels. All kinds of weird stuff.
I have a question though. How far away is the rowboat that did not sail away from us?
There's like a cluster of them, and they're only like, I don't know, maybe like 50, 60 feet away in the water.
And they're getting
pulled in. Yeah.
Okay.
They've always been attached, but the one cut loose.
So I'm going to ask my friends, Shield specifically, if he can help me pull one of the rowboats closer. Because I'm going to attempt to cast Create or Destroy Water around the rowboat, because that also will destroy fog in a 30-foot cube. So I think that should be able to get a good portion of the rowboat and maybe see if giving them some clean air helps.
Shield will certainly help with that.
Okay. All right, so you guys are going to start pulling them in. All right. Suda, where are you at during this scenario?
I think that I had been helping the crew get settled in down below, but we need to figure out how to get away from this fog. Maybe we do need somebody to go take a look at it. And going to head up and strip down to go for a swim.
All right.
Can I do magic on you before you go?
Sure.
Okay. Please let me give you some help. Things.
Yeah, I'll take a round, like getting down to my skivvies to go for the dive.
Do you tell us?
Are you gonna go stab it?
I'm gonna go see if I can stab it. Sure. Yeah, I'll have the short sword in my teeth.
Yeah.
As captain, I would, as soon as I sort of come to after having some tea, I would be like, "Oh, do we have oars on the ship? Because I know many ships can move manually by rowing."
That's not the case, Captain Bungler.
Okay, so then we have to get people back on the rowboats. So when Captain comes to, he kind of comes out of his room and like, I don't know what's happening right now, but this is bad. Status report, anyone?
The bubbles are related. We are attempting to get rid of the fog, and I think Suda's going swimming.
Has she gone? Have they gone swimming already? No.
I haven't jumped over yet.
There are people. Some of the crew are swimming currently.
That is a bad idea. We need to get out of here immediately.
And Quint is just sort of like,
all hands, get out of the water, you dogs! Get back on the rowboats!
And like trying to get everyone to start affixing scarves to themselves and like trying to contain their breathing a little bit. Having high diving suits, so they're just like this.
Yeah, stay the course. If you see someone getting bubbly, get them back on the ship as soon as possible.
And like trying to get everyone to kind of like organizing the crew a bit more with like a little bit more of his like captain authority, maybe seeing if that could work.
Okay. The most of your crew is underneath, but the guys in the boat. Let's see how they react to your commands.
Not very good.
The one says, Gina, she's the boatswain. She says, Captain, you've never paid me my full shares. And now you're dragging me back. You're dragging me back. You can't do this to me. I want my full share. And she's taking the oar and she's like, she's getting upset. But you're pulling them in. They are in various states of either giggliness or basically the same sort of situations with them staring blankly out. Some of them splashing. Some like there's one person who's like kicking like a rowboat, like a motor off the back of it. And so you get them up and they're like, basically they're at the spot where, the ropes come down and you would hook them onto the rowboat and like pull it up. And so that's where we'll start, this, round. All right. Sai, start with you or however you guys want to go. If you want to like have some kind of grand plan, like you want to drop Neris's fog cloud and then do, however you guys want to do it.
Yeah, I'd like to
Did
hold.
the fog cloud seem to help?
Oh, did you do that?
Yeah, I dropped it on the boat.
Okay, yeah. So it clears the fog away, but then it quickly is refilled by the tremendous amount of fog that is everywhere. Everywhere.
Does anyone have any way to give us speed? Like maybe we could try to just get out of here, just get everyone, try to get people out of the water, and then let's try to like unfurl the sails and see if we can.
If you send me below, I can try to do that, and I'm going to point a branch at the guy who's kicking motorboat style, but with more things, and I'm going to wave all my branches.
Whatever works. At this point, we need to get moving, and if we get moving, we can maybe start off what's causing all this. I know. I see all.
Then lower me down at the stern.
I do not consent.
You don't. What?
Do not
What
think
do
it
you?
is a good idea.
I need to get.
I don't have good ideas or any ideas. What do you think we should do, Elvira?
The plan of investigation at the source is probably the best way, because if it is a living, breathing, moving magic thing casting this fog, if we try to get out of it, it can simply move with us. I mean, that's that. So how long do we try to move? How much resources do we expend trying to move? How much do we want to risk by, tossing more of our people into the water? Yada, 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 yada. I think sending Suda and Naime out to investigate is probably a one individual going in one direction under like the watchful eye of the rest of us, and with added magical bonuses and telepathic connection, we're still going to maintain contact even through a sort of split. So if Suda and Naime are willing to run the risk of being individually split from the party to investigate, then I think that's our best corner action here.
I just don't understand why Elvira can't fly out and check it.
My understanding is Elvira cannot fly in damp weather. The weight of the water brings down her wings. And I'll look at Captain Quint and say, Elvira is very smart. We should probably listen to her if Naime and Suda are willing.
It sounds like the best option. In the meantime, I'm going to get my crew and get them down below deck. Get them back to their senses. So regardless of this works or not, we can just get everyone on the right page. And so
before Quint goes down, I'm going to silently say to my friends, I can cast silence on that guy if you don't want to listen to him talk anymore.
In your head, you hear, that would be rude. We are on his boat.
Shield is going to try to keep raising the whatever rowboat we actually got docked and kind of raising up. That was
the problem right now is that Gina is not having it. Every time one of the crew member goes to attach the rope to the thing that pulls it up, she smacks the hand with the paddle firmly. And she's super boss around here anyway. So, and she is not, she's talking about how Captain Bungler owes her 700 gold pieces, all kinds of stuff. She's throwing all the dirty laundry out right now on the side of the boat.
How far away is she?
She's just right down at the bottom. You got her on the rope right here.
I will slap her.
Slap her. All right. You can reach down that far for sure, right?
My branches are long and I have a whip. And I will slap her.
All right, do it.
Right.
Roll armor class 10.
It's a 12 on the dice plus some things.
All right, blam! Just as Gina's you're not going to get that effer owes me money. Let's see if it knocks Gina out of her.
So would that be considered a birch slap?
Oh,
that was absolutely a birch slap.
That was good. Birch slap Gina. Yep. And then as you slap Gina with the wood, her face just goes, and she looks she's what am I doing? She looks around and has this horrified look at her face with her fellow crew are acting so ridiculous right now.
And then I'm just going to reach down with my other branch and pick her up the way you pick up a recalcitrant toddler, by the armpits, and just lift her onto the deck. So it's just out of her head.
He's like, what was I doing out there? Why are there 3 boats tied together? What is this, a party boat?
You were being a problem.
I say we're done with that. Thank you.
Where's the crew? What? There's no repair. Where are all the repairs?
I'm going to just take her, again, by her armpits, and put her into the hold.
Okay, I'll talk. Okay. So you get her chilled out. And then the rest of them come up quickly after that. You tie. You can literally reach down and just tie it on there, and just you haul them up. You get them under the decks, and Suda, there you are on the gracefully standing on the precipice.
So while we have the boats back, should we go out with one of the boats or just let Suda dive?
I wouldn't be opposed to putting 2 of you in a boat with Suda, moving slightly closer, and then letting Suda take a dive from the boat. So there's a little bit of an extra safety, but I don't want to put everybody out there. And I'm too small, and my wings are too wet to be of any mobile help. So
I could just go with them. If we don't want to have too many people on this.
I would say you could put Shield and Sai in the boat to row it out, because that's going to be your best in a pinch strength / damagey business. Nearest and I are good at a distance and able to help. Quint is doing whatever Quint is doing down below, and then Suda will be in the water. So I think that's a good kind of like 2-2 stack, at a distance, kind of like how we would arrange the battlefield anyway if we were on solid ground.
I am willing to help, however, it is deemed helpful as long as I am not steering the boat again.
If whatever's making this fog is down there, it should die.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Bear's Endurance on Suda, which will give her 6 temporary hit points and advantage on Constitution checks.
Woo-woo. Longer holding my breath.
I am going to also give you a thing. My magical deck of floating cards is going to come up all Yu-Gi-Oh style, and one of them is going to spin around, and it's going to be a picture of a fox, and you are going to get tail of the clever animal. And whenever you make an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma check, you roll a d6 immediately after rolling your d20 and add it to your check. So that'll help you if you need to make any wisdom saves against the thing again. So you have that.
Thanks.
Okay, so you guys execute the plan, get in the boats. Suda jumps over.
Just before you jump over, you do hear in your brain, remember, I'm still here.
Understood.
Are
Get you
you
on the
swimming
flip side.
underwater towards the source of the bubbles?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Inside, meanwhile, we'll row on over as soon as we can.
Okay. So you guys are all in position. The plan is going well, and you're going under. Okay, so the bubbles are coming, obviously straight up. So you're diving down.
Following down, yep.
How are your underwater eyesight? Is your eyesight underwater?
Considering I'm nice and human, not that great.
Okay.
You have your shiny blade for light.
Oh, yeah. Well, and not if I brought just the sword. Yeah,
Okay,
I
you
just
get
have the
down
sword.
just at the, you're just at the edge of total, where you
Darkness,
wouldn't be able to see. And you see, coming out of the ground, of the sea floor, is a rift. And it's 3 feet long and next to the rift is like this weird coral-like formation, and then it's like you can see that the coral formation is like sending off these like spores or eggs or seeds or whatever the hell coral formations do. And somehow it's mixing with the volcanic weird black water that's coming out next to it. And you see it as it's combining. You see it's like visual pop rocks. It's the only thing I can think of. So something is happening between the interaction of this coral's seeding or whatever and the volcanic vents that are under here.
I will relay this telepathically to Sai.
And I will then pass it on along to Elvira. It appears to be a volcanic coral polyp problem.
Yes, and how do we fix that?
I don't know.
Want me to stab it?
You could certainly
just
try.
Isn't coral like your distant cousin or something?
Technically, it's more closely related to you.
I mean, if you stab one coral, though, it's not going to help the other. Like,
No.
No, don't listen to those naysayers. Go for it.
If you can stab a single coral, that is remarkably dexterous of you. You would probably hit hundreds of them in a single swing. But actually, Elvira, the coral are more closely related to you, since they are, in fact, invertebrates with an exoskeleton. They're not.
Oh.
Blow it up.
Have any sort of coral birth control we could apply?
Right.
Maybe a coral condom. Like we're swimming in the seed rather than the egg.
Maybe you can call BP, British Petroleum. They'll fix you right up.
I'm gonna send up. Do we have gunpowder on board?
I am
don't know.
generally against
Captain.
wasting environment.
that's a Captain Bungler
Do we
question.
have extra sails? We could make a large cover for the coral to keep all the coral reproduction juice inside.
So a condom.
Yes.
Undersea condom.
Hashtag coral condom.
Under the sea. Under the sea. Down here, sweater, rib for her pleasure. Take it from me.
Oh, no.
A little dark Disney coming in there.
Poor unfortunate souls.
Captain, do we have gunpowder? I'm assuming we do.
Oh, I think we do. The captain believes he does.
If you have cannons, you have gunpowder.
I thought we had ballistas.
I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're probably in a non-gunpowder world.
Yes. So I'm going to repeat my question with slightly more seriousness. Captain, do you have an extra set of sails?
I'm checking the Lorca right now.
Basically, I don't know that there's anything to really stop what's going on here. We just need to get out of it. Unless somebody knows a blight spell or something to kill it all.
I only know one spell, and if I command it to duel with me, I don't know what would happen.
We have cannons. I believe it's the.
Oh, you do?
Yes, it's below deck, or it's actually on. Yep, it's on the poop deck. So you could basically just man the cannons from the poop deck and just start going for it. Main deck.
Well, and at this point, I think I'm going to start swimming back to the surface because no reason to stay down there. We'll need to rig a barrel of gunpowder essentially into a depth charge to explode when it gets down there and destroy the coral.
We could bungle a barrel and just get bungle a barrel of gunpowder and just making sure it's airtight and manually detonate it. Yes, I don't see what could go wrong with that. All right, boys, let's get the gunpowder ready. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so you guys execute the plan. You have a very large, it's like a giant thing of gunpowder. It's going to be like a very large explosion. Who is going to be the fuse lighting individual or individuals? I'm trying to think. How do you put it into the water? Do you take it out on the boat, or try to bring like the big boat over there?
You have to make sure that that's waterproof, or it won't work.
You could probably you could probably hit it from the ship, and then explode it. Maybe.
Not that deep. I mean, so I will do it. What I'll probably need is if somebody still has is able to make my sword flammable or flaming or something.
I can make your weapon an elemental weapon and have it have fire damage.
So yeah, that's what I'd be looking for, because I can get down to that level. Send Suda out, or I guess in this case Naime actually, as the echo 30 feet down. So I'll be 30 feet away when the barrel goes off. I don't know if I'll still take some damage or not, but...
You should tie this around your waist, and I'm going to hand you my coil of rope. So that if you do go unconscious, we can get you back quickly.
So here's, I guess, how we're picturing it. Nearest is going to enchant Suda's sword with fire. We're going to get the barrel put together. Suda will swim it down, using some of the weight to drag her down under the water, down toward the coral. When she gets 30 feet away from the coral, she's going to drop the barrel, let it sink. As an Echo Knight, her spiritual copy, manifests 30 feet down. So that's going to be Naime, who can attack from her position with the flaming sword and therefore ignite the barrel, causing the explosion.
Okay. So it starts happening. You're going down with the barrel. There's only one thing that could happen. A couple things that can happen. You could drop the sword or drop the barrel accidentally, or get your leg or your hand got caught on a rope on the barrel that you weren't paying, or there was a fish hook attached to the barrel that nobody saw, and then it hooked onto your thing. Okay, so we'll say all that stuff. Would you say that's kind of an acrobatic maneuver or athletics? I'd say either one. I'm going to say it's a DC. Say it's a DC 14 for a perfect execution of the plan.
Okay, so I'm going to go athletics, given the choice, because that is a +6. Woohoo! 17 total.
Okay, it goes off without a hitch. You shift the Echo Knight power, shifting back and forth through reality, underwater reality. And so you're 30 feet away when it goes off? Or is this like 60, right? Because then it goes down.
Yeah, I can only go 30 feet from my copy, so...
So you when it goes off, the first thing you think is, I should have got a little farther away. Okay.
Hey, I do have those 6 temporary hit points, though. Unless that faded.
You take 8 concussion damage, which would basically be bludgeoning. And the people up in the small boat make dexterity checks or acrobatics checks to not get thrown overboard.
$11.
Okay, good. Just need a 10.
Natural 20.
Okay, you hold on with all of your limbs. And who comes up? Nime or Suda? I forget.
Ooh. Yeah, I guess in this case, they would have switched places again, so it is now Naime.
Okay, so Naime comes out of the water. She's safe. She's alive. People are back in.
Oh, that really knocks the air out of you.
And you see from that area, the bubbles have stopped. And you see, like, all throughout the water is like this whitish tint to under the water, like a cloud of white, amorphous liquid in a solution. And then the most important thing that happened to you all day starts happening. You see what little tattered sails are left on the ship. Slowly start jiggling a little bit. And the wind starts pushing the fog.
Naime just kind of like treads water and just scowls. Seriously, we just had to wait like 30 more minutes.
I'm sorry.
Well, that wasn't directed to you. That's just like
I think you get credit for this, Naime.
It made the wind happen.
I made the wind.
You should think about pursuing life as a druid. I bet Neris would let you train with her.
I don't know that druids would have destroyed a coral ecosystem just because people were laughing.
It is really creepy.
So the fog clears, but there's still no sign of the boat. And after the captain does a muster, it turns out 40 other people are missing too. So there's 60 lost souls on that number right there. And with that, you good players, I really appreciate you being so nice to me while I DM tonight. I had a fun time. I hope you did too. And Jay's going to take this ship back over next week. And I know I'll see you guys on some kind of D&D situation of some sort soon.
Thank you for stepping in.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for filling in.
All right, see you guys.
Take
All right.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Goodbye.